What's going on, guys? Well, that thing just dropped at the beginning of the video. Pretty funny. I just took off the side of this PS5. This PS5 came in. It needs a new HDMI port installed on it. The customer had actually said that if he flipped his HDMI cord around and connected it into the console and into the TV, it would work until somebody bumped the console or something. And then if that happened, he would just turn the HDMI cord around again, plug it in, like swapping the ends, and then it would work. This console has been fixed by wayyyy, he said 3 times. So he spent a lot of money on this because they charge a significant amount more than what I charge for it. Hopefully he had like insurance on it or something like that through them. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. Anyways, yeah, he had it fixed 3 times by wayyyy, the HDMI port. So hopefully it's not too bad. We'll take a look, see what's going on. The port itself, like, it has a little split in it that you can see right here. So that's typical. That means that it's just loose. The tab, like the top of the tab, is kind of broken too. So he may need a new HDMI cord. Especially if he's like swapping it back and forth like that, it's more likely that that broke as well too. We're also just gonna give it a little cleaning here. It's not very dirty. Looks pretty good actually. So we're just gonna go ahead and get this disassembled. And even if you're not interested, or if you are interested, we are moving into a new place, which I've talked about previously on some of my videos. But we'll probably be moving within the next week or so. So for those of you who mail in controllers and stuff, you make sure that you don't mail it within the next week. Because it's not going to be updated. We aren't moving too far away though. We're moving down the street actually. The new space is, yeah, I guess it's bigger than this space, possibly. It's more open though. Oh, there's a screw right here. Not supposed to be a screw right here. Huh, that's weird. Maybe it's got too many screws? It does. I've never seen people add screws to this. That's pretty wild. We got some of these screws torqued in there. But yeah, we're gonna be moving soon. Oh my gosh. Yeah, whoever fixed this last definitely hammered. Well, they use a hammer drill to put these things in. If you see me doing this right here, where I'm trying to like click it off, that usually means that they screwed it in really tight. But if they come off easy, that means that those ones aren't screwed in as tight, like this one. And that's, what is this screw to? That's to a PS4, I think. So there's the extra screw there. I'm just gonna toss that. That screw hole there is probably messed up now. That's alright, we won't hold it against them. wayyyy, they hire people. So they're a little bit different than somebody like myself who works on the consoles myself. That was pretty loose. You can definitely tell that this has been worked on before. Hopefully, this kind of looks a little bit up. Nope. Okay, that's good. I've talked about this in previous videos, but if these are loose, then that's not a good thing. All right. Everything's coming out pretty good, so you can definitely tell that this console's been taken apart plenty of times, judging by how easy it is. To disassemble it. Oof, that's not good. Oh no. Okay, so the port area doesn't look too bad. So that should be all right for us to fix. The only problem is there is liquid metal splattered everywhere. Hopefully it's not on the motherboard. I'll have to take a look at that. But look at this. It's all up here, which means it's probably on the motherboard too, but that's not good. So we got to clean that up too. More work. Oh well, that's all right. So yeah, we got to clean that up a little bit too, and then I'm gonna check the motherboard and see if I can find any on there. Hopefully not. All right, so there was like actually some streaks of liquid metal over here, which is bad because it was in the components there. I went ahead and used some cotton swab and alcohol to get that off though. So, and I checked everywhere else, and it looks like everywhere else is pretty good. So it might have just splattered on the panel over there, on top of the heat sink. So we definitely need to clean that up though, because if not, it'll corrode through that panel, and that's not good. Or it could possibly get on the motherboard, and we don't want that. But we need to do the port replacement first. All right, so U-brake I did fix this a couple times. First thing I can tell you though, while looking at this, hang on a second, let me take the heater out actually so I can show you this. This is the most common mistake that I always show you in these videos. There's no solder in the footholes on that side or this side. Actually, it looks like it's on the side of the port here, right there, but it's not actually in the footholes. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's in the footholes after we take this off. Alright, so just took the port off. The pads and everything on the motherboard look perfectly fine. So we could just drop our port on here. A new one there. I'm gonna heat this up, and as it heats up, I always give it a second here before I put the solder in the footholes, but just let it heat up a little bit. I'm gonna put some more flux here on these holes. That way that it distributes the heat and allows the solder to be accepted, basically. I'm just gonna tap right here, boom, tap right here. Just gonna let it heat itself up. There it goes. Same thing on the other side, just gonna tap those footholes. Keep the heat on there. Put some pressure on the back here. Just move it forward a hair. I've come to find out that if you push it too far back, the pins have trouble adhering to the pads on the motherboard. Also, there's like some what the heck is that? Hang on a second, I gotta look at something. Something looks weird back here. Yeah, I gotta look at something on the back of the board that I didn't see till I looked through the microscope. Alright, so now you can see the solders in those footholes there. You can see this over there and see this over there. That's what you want to see. However, for some reason there's some solder mask on this capacitor right here, like around it. I don't know why that's there. Maybe one of the pads got ripped up where that's at, but I highly doubt it. So I don't know why that's there. I don't think it's gonna cause any issues. But of course, we're gonna go ahead and let this one cool down and test it out and see. All right, so I cleaned up their mess a little bit. Nothing too crazy, just cleaning it all off the panel here and then kind of cleaning it around there so it doesn't splatter anywhere else. You can see those lines right there. Those are from the liquid metal, so it can like drag across, and it's super corrosive. So actually, it looks like I missed some, so I gotta get some right there. I didn't see that till I got the camera here. Let me wipe those off. Oh, I gotta get a new Q-tip. All right, so I got the board back in. We're gonna go ahead and start reassembling it, clean it up a little bit, and then we're gonna test it out here and check it out, make sure everything works. So as it turns out, as long as you don't add a PS4 screw, you actually have the exact right amount of screws. So don't know how a PS4 screw got into that, but all the screws are where they're supposed to be. Now we're ready to put it back together and test it out. Of course, it's good to go. And we didn't even have to swap our HDMI cord around, so excellent. Reapers. What are we like? 20 something and 0 versus you break, you fix it. So thanks for watching.